welcome back to my channel. My store is a very hot mess, but currently I cannot clean because I need to organize. I need to be able to condense things so that I can put things in other places, etc. I have these lovely bins from Michaels for my permanent or temporary and permanent vinyl. Everything has kind of just been a mess. Everything's been everywhere. And then I have a boatload of HTV. I actually use HTV a lot more. So what I think I want to do is put away my regular adhesive vinyl on this nice little hanging rack that I got from Amazon as a space saver. And this is actually behind my door. I generally don't use this that often, and if I do, it's when I'm making orders or whatever's not, maybe custom orders. So I figured I can put on my adhesive vinyl on here, get it out of the way, and that way I can see what I have. So I'm thinking of putting my temporary on one side and then again permanent on the other, but with the temporary facing me because that's what I offer on my shop. I think this is the temporary. Let's see. And that's another thing, I don't even know what I have anymore. I've been all over the place. So I need to get organized. I want to get organized. Right now may not be the ideal time to do so because I do have a market later. I have a whole bunch of products that I need to finish tagging, but I want to organize. I feel like once I'm organized, I'll be calmer and I'll be able to get things done properly. I have this huge roll of white, which I love. I don't think this will fit in here. Let's see. Let's see. No. What I'm thinking of doing, or what I thought of doing, is kind of just like unwinding it from the stool because it's on like this cardboard. I don't need this cardboard. So I want to kind of like unwind it so that I'll be able to take it off. I hope that makes sense. Like it's wound on here and then taped onto this cardboard. I want to unwind it within itself and try to take it off of the cardboard so that I can make it smaller. It's probably not going to be the best for the vinyl towards the end. Here we go. You see it's taped to here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this little piece of tape off as well. Okay, and now I can wind it back up and make it smaller. Again, this is probably not the best for the vinyl, but again, it is what it is. I'm just trying to flatten it some so I can keep tightening it. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I just have my hands on the inside and I'm just using that as friction to kind of tighten the vinyl. Just going in here. So I can get small enough to fit into the little containers. Ooh, almost got a paper cut. Be careful. Okay, I think this should be small enough. I use white fairly often, so I think I want to put it towards the end, but I don't know. You can move things around. Are these even smaller? No. Okay. It's just not open up there. I was like, what is happening, Jesus? Still not small enough. Okay, let's keep going. We gonna make her fit, y'all. We gonna make her fit. A part of me wants to like also cut like strips of like 24 pieces, but then I don't want to waste it if I don't need it, because you know, like you get like those one-offs or like that random 1-inch scrap. I don't want to do that. Not if I have to, at least. And again, I know this is really bad because this is a really small centimeter to have the vinyl at, but it'll be okay. Once it'll expand once I get it in here. And if I know I'm getting towards the end of the roll, I'll just layer out flat so I can cut it accordingly. We're almost there. Okay. A little more. And don't mind him on the floor because there's literally no space to do anything in here. Haha, there we go. Okay, I have the same thing for black. I have multiple blacks actually, so I need to figure out. This is Orcal 651. I want to say this is temporary too. I don't even, like, this is what I'm telling you, like, everything is everywhere. This is Starcraft temporary. This is Starcraft temporary. So let's try and keep at least brands together. I want to get rid of the Orcal. I do prefer Starcraft. It's just preference or habit, I guess. Or at least season. I don't mind Orcal. It's just a little bit more expensive, at least. Like, that was probably a Michael's purchase. Ooh, where are you going? So let's get this down to size again. Again, my hand is just in here and I'm just rolling around, applying pressure to the outside to try and condense it. And then I'm just gonna try and flatten it softly so I don't mess up the edges. You can't see that. is HTV. These are all other HTVs. I have black. You can never have too much black. I have white. I have a white that I started when I already had another white apparently. But I know this one is Caesar. Oh, excuse me. This one is Caesar, so I can use this for the baby stuff. So yeah. I love this color. It's like so soft. It's like a nice little I think this was an apricot, maybe even light apricot. I don't remember. I'm gonna try and organize this as best as possible for where it makes sense. I'm gonna try and put light colors with other light colors. So I just put, I have this electric red. I want to say this is also Caesar. Probably got it at Michael's. And then I have this regular red, dark red burgundy wine color. I'm gonna put that in there as well. Just again to keep things similar. Here's green. Green can just go in there. I have this red glitter. She is not fun to weed in the slightest. But I got her. So here we are. I will probably put it over here. Let me put the white next to the white. Well, no, it doesn't matter. They're different brands anyways. Here's a couple of scraps that I had. I just decided to put in there. I'm gonna put it on the other side of this little cardboard here so I don't lose it. What's this? What is this? Oh, this is white glitter. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is so pretty. So pretty. I'm gonna put the glitter next to the glitter. I will use this as scrap. I have, where you go? I have more HG over here, because you know, one can never have too many. This looks new, so let's see what this is. Again, why I'm organizing. I know I feel like these are scrap pieces. This is also not scrap, but I use this for some of my like Halloween shirts. And then I've been looking for this coral glitter for weeks. If you recall from my video when I was cleaning out my car, I was cleaning everything out and I showed you guys the shirts for my coworker. I've not made her shirts because I could not find this vinyl. And I'm like, I'm not buying more because I already know I have it. Look at all this vinyl. This once I do that, I'll do a little pan over and then I'll show you the rest of my mess. Okay. So I was able to organize everything and tackle the mess. I realized that this black that I saw earlier that I wasn't sure what it was, that is permanent. It's Oracle 651, because the gray that I have is temporary and it's 631. So I was like, okay, I'll figure it out eventually. I don't have enough to do both sides, so I figured I'd do on the bottom is all my temporary and on the top is all my permanent, more or less like inverted. I tried to keep it organized, pretty. We shall see how long this stays. I had a couple. These are the empty rolls. That's the transfer tape. These are a few random one-offs, and this is all my HTV, nice and organized, which would be helpful. I have some signs here. I actually made our signs for the store. Where's mine? Mine is over here. But this is my other mess that I need to tackle now. But now that I actually have space underneath here, I'll be able to do so. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna clean up and try and these are all the things that I made last night. I need to go through all of this and just clean. But it is many hours later. I'm sorry if I'm low energy. The first video was almost 12 hours ago. It was around 10 a.m. when I recorded that. 10:30, 11. Let's be wrong. 10:30, 11. So when I first got to the borough, I had breakfast. I got out around 10:30. I got around 10:30, had breakfast, and then I was like, okay, I need to organize before I start getting to work. You can actually see my counter for the most part, so there has been progress. I was able to tag a lot of the headbands that I did, get in 1 or 2 orders done and packaged, which I need to take to the mailbox. I have my market here technically, because again on the weekends we're open 12 to 5. And then I had another market at Compass Rose Brewery from 4 to 7, excuse me. Both markets were a little slow. There were a lot more people at the second market, but not many people were kind of shopping. Like a few people looked here and there, but not many shopped. I was inside, so my caveat about winter markets is that I'm generally outside and people tend to be cold. But with people being inside, a lot of people weren't cold, so they were not buying as much. But I also don't think I didn't like my setup all too much, to be honest too. I had a corner space and then I kind of had my table diagonally, so a lot of my go-to items were kind of like off to the side, so a lot of people didn't really see them or didn't know what they were. It is what it is. I had a few sales and they were pretty decent sales. One lady specifically bought 3 headbands, so thank you, ma'am. I did give away my gift of purchase, which is the scrunchies, the elastics. I had one on earlier, but I took it off. I just have my other scrunchie on right now. But I'm just really tired, guys, but I'm rambling. I just wanted to kind of get on here so you can see more or less what I do, how I do what I do. I'm on a stool. I have my Addy knitting machine with me. I have both actually. I have my drill and I have my adapter. I have one black one so far. I'm gonna try and do at least 1 or 2 skeins of black. That should get me around 6 headbands, maybe 5 or 6 headbands. I only have 2 black ones right now, and I know black is a really popular color. I want to say 12 to 15 headbands last night. I know I definitely did 7 green. I think I did maybe 4 or 5 pink, and then another 4 or 5 red, or the burgundy color. So I got a decent amount of inventory in. I know I sold a pink and I think I sold 2 burgundies. So again, those are popular colors. I'm trying to stock up. I did not stock accordingly or prep properly before market season. I have 1 market again tomorrow. It's a day market, and I have 3 this coming week, but I don't want to be so stressed and so tired next weekend because I do have the 3 markets, and ideally I don't want to work after the market. I haven't done my nails and Lord knows how long. I broke this one earlier, like it was chipped, and I was like, you know what, my hair keeps getting stuck in it, I'm frustrated. I just ended up like ripping off the part that was like the gel polish in the nail. I don't care. that's where we are right now. Again, sorry I'm low energy, but this is all the energy I got. I'm gonna go ahead and start up my machine. I'll probably just have an overview of me doing this, kind of like a face on right now, so you can kind of see. And then I want to do a bird's eye view, but I don't know if what I have right now is the best, so we'll see. But hopefully you guys like this. I'll probably put some music on. You should leave, generally the way I make my headbands, I have waist yarn in here right now. And this isn't like an official tutorial, by the way, because clearly I'm a little tired, y'all. But I have my waist yarn. You should measure this somehow, but for me, I know that if I wrap it around my hand 6 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's all the yarn that I need to not only sew it, like crochet it, but also sew it. I have a tension adapter. It's clear, so it's kind of hard to see. I think I want to say her name is Sylvia Bot, and there's like a little robot on it. You can probably see the robot better, but I live by this. I first started my business on a Centro. The Centro actually has the tensioner like this, but the Addies do not, and I like to be very particular with mine, so that's the first thing I got when I switched over to the Addie. So I'm going to crank out the number of rows that I need to, and then just keep going. There's a lot of people who have a lot of, I don't know if you guys just heard that. There's a lot of people who have a lot of mixed comments about knitting machines. there's a lot of people who are very negative about them and say that we're cheating, the machine does the work, and you know, blah blah blah. Quite frankly, I think all of that is ignorance. You can come for me in the comments if you want, but honestly, I think that's ignorance. If someone sews, you don't tell them by using a sewing machine that they're cheating. You're working smarter, not harder. I'm very frank about what I do with my business. My stuff is still handmade. Okay, I'm making the tube on the knitting machine. So what? I still have to crochet the closing. I still have to sew the closing. I still have to add my tags. And that's just the headbands. My purses, I have to sew, seam, sew some more. There's a lot that goes into it. Yes, we're doing it faster. We're doing it easier. But so what? That doesn't make it less handmade. Because I'm not doing it with needles. I'm not knitting the stocking itself or the panel with needles. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Oh, and there's people who complain about us using drill adapters. There's people who say that we should be cranking everything by hand. If people have come up with ways to make things easier, why not use them? All I'm saying. We'll leave it right there. If you guys are interested in how I make my things, please let me know. I would love to do a tutorial for you guys, but only if you're interested, honestly. So I'm getting this out of the way. I have, let's see, this is one. It's a little snug, so I'm just stretching it out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We made 7. Who is we? I made 7. Making sure that the other arm that I was using earlier isn't in the way or in the shot. But I have 7 of these, which I'm glad I actually came back. Even though I'm so tired, I'm really happy and proud of myself for coming back here, because when I was recording one of the other clips earlier this evening, I got an order for a black mommy and me set. So I actually have to make one for the order, and then I need to make a baby one as well. I want to say the size was a 1 to 3. I don't recall who the name was, but if you happen to be watching this, thank you for your order. Definitely much appreciated. So again, I'm just kind of giving it a nice little stretch. In part, this is also why you want more waist yarn, so that when you're stretching, none of your stitches are falling off. And again, you know, part of the reason why I get frustrated or irritated when people say that, you know, the machine is doing it for you. Okay, the machine did this for me. Now, what is this? Like, this is a panel, you know. It requires more steps to complete the project, to complete the item. It requires knowing the length. It requires knowing the size. It just, there's so much more to it. And it frustrates me that people are like, you know, oh, this is cheating, or, you know, this isn't handmade. I'm still making it with my hands. You know, with that same logic, you know, I'm not sitting here making the yarn from scrap, you know. And again, people don't tend to say that with knitting or sewing machines. So why say so with knitting machines? But alas, here we are. I need a needle. I don't think I have any down here. Let's see. I have one. Not my preferred, but the others are in the car. Trying to not move the camera. Okay. So this is the tube, one end of the panel, and this is the other. I'm going to seam up both of them really quickly. Ideally, you want to make sure you're starting and ending at the same spot so that your tube is even. But this is what it looks like. I know that this is my ending because I tend to have both the scrap and my piece on that same last hook, so they're together. See, look, I just pulled that apart. And I need to do my nails because I keep pulling yarn. That's what was happening with this finger, and I ended up just taking it off. But anyways, I'm rambling. So I'm gonna go with this one, which is on the lower end, and this is on the higher end. So this is where I know I need to start my seam. So I'm grabbing this one, I move this out of the way, I grab this one, and I'm grabbing the second one. Okay, this is just one of many methods on how to close your tube. This I'm throwing back in there. I don't need it. I don't particularly care. I will be working this seam, again, just matching like this. Okay, this is my working yarn, and I'm just doing a slip stitch across the whole thing. I'm picking up that top black stitch, and I am just doing a slip stitch all the way across. Again, this is just one of many methods. There are different methods that don't even require you to use extra yarn. I know there are faster ways as well. This is the first way I've ever done it, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't care for the other ways. I have used them on other projects. It just really depends. Because of how I close my project, it's irrelevant because I still have to seam it closed. So this seam actually doesn't even matter. Depending on the project, there are other seams where there's stitches that there's more stretch. This doesn't really give you much give. It's there. That's it. And especially with me pulling it taut, there's less give. If I were to have left it wide, which I probably will for the others, there tends to be a little bit more give. But again, with the way I close this up, it doesn't matter. and I'm just going to finish one up for you guys all together. Again, this is not a tutorial, or at least not a very thorough tutorial. This is more just what will work with me. I may reuse some of these clips and do a full-length tutorial for you guys, but as of right now, this is just kind of like a work with me. You may hear some mumbling or other voices in the background. I don't know how good the audio is or how loud I am compared to them, but again, this is a shared space at the borough. And while I was working on this last one of the guys came in and he's working as well. So bear with me with that. My tubes measure from 0 to 17, approximately 17 inches. Okay. Again, I have one end that's shorter and one that's a lot longer. I don't think I have any of my needles with me, but we're going to grab. Okay. I'm just going to use a few clips to show you guys, because again, non-tutorial. I'm very particular about how I seam this, and I have every seam the same exact way on all of my items so that they look identical, or possibly as identical as much as possibly identical as much identical as possible. I want them to look factory made, basically. So I always start with my seaming end on my left and my shorter end on my right. And what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich. So I'm picking up my ends. This shorter end is going to go into the middle of this end here. I'm picking up this out of the way. This seam is going to go in the middle of this side. So you have this weird little stingray situation going on. Okay, this side, this wing or flap is going to go over. Okay, I'm just moving this out of the way, and this last wing is going to go over. Okay, pulling this down and out of the way. So we have this little zigzag sandwich situation. So this is the left, this is the right. Okay, you would then now sew this closed with your tapestry needle, and you would make sure that you're picking up every single layer every time when you go back, forth. Okay, all the way across. I go all the way across. I try to go through every single loop, at least every other loop, and then I kind of come back this way just to reassure it. And then once this working yarn is technically over here, I'll just tie them together, and then I'll hide it in because it is double knotted. I can't do that right now because I don't have the needle that I need. So what we're going to do instead is just really quickly, if possible, use this sewing yarn is too thick. Let's see. Hopefully I don't break any of these. Okay, so in theory, this is nice and sewn up, right? So when you flip it inside out, this is what it's going to look like. Okay. Now, if you're not careful with how you do it, if you do it differently every time, if you do that sandwich differently every time, this loop may be down here, this loop may be up here, vice versa, or it's going to be like wonky sideways or whatever. It's not. And I realized that after making a lot of these that I wasn't being exact, and it bothered me because I am a little bit anal at times, and it was just off, and I would prefer for it to have been perfect. So this is what it looks like. Again, you don't have your ends will be woven in. You can add your tags and stuff like that. So I'm done for today. I'm very tired. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna work on these and these other ones at my market tomorrow. And let's go back to the front facing. So as you guys can tell, the girl is tired. So as I mentioned before, I have a fair amount of these done, so I'm just kind of gathering the ends so that it's not a hot mess, giving them a nice little stretch, and then we'll be off. I generally try to take things with me to markets to work on when I'm there. I feel like if I don't at least make sales, I can work on product. So I'll be working on these tomorrow. I'm trying to get my smaller Addy to work. My counter has been acting up, and then the counter hack that I do have on it right now keeps getting unglued. So I'm trying to get everything glued back on there for right now. I'm very low on stock of my baby sizes now. Thankfully, the last couple of days I have been able to restock on my adult headbands. I think I said onesies for the baby ones too. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm sorry I keep saying I'm tired, but I'm genuinely tired. That will be my last time. But yeah, I'll work on these tomorrow while I'm at the market. It's going to be raining, I think. Let me see if I can check on my watch. I don't really know how this works all that much. I don't know. We'll see, y'all. I will take some grid walls with me. I will try to record setting up tomorrow. I have another one of these at the house. I just need to remember to take it with me so I can pack up and you guys can watch me pack up. But yes, I'm done. Actually, I'm gonna leave this one here. No, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it because I don't want to I have to redo it later. I'm gonna take this with me. And hopefully I sell them all out, but I doubt it, honestly. I'm gonna work on this tomorrow at my market. I have scrunchies to work on. I have a little bit of everything that I could work on, but I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to try to get caught up with videos. Right now I'm very behind. I'm still waiting on my iPad. I'm praying that I can get it on Monday. I should have been able to get it on Friday, but I didn't realize that I had to be there present to sign for it, which I appreciate because it is something that is very expensive, and I would have hated for something bad to have happened to it. But at the same time, that was not told to me, and I was not home. If that was the case, I would have shipped it to my house or to my neighbor's house, my mom's house or my neighbor's house, so that it could have gotten signed for, because I know they're generally home. It is what it is. I was able to talk to UPS. It's at the customer center. I am hoping that I can get it on Monday. I may have to leave work a little bit earlier. It's not ideal. I might try to run during lunch or go to lunch earlier. We'll see. I'll figure it out, but I need it immediately. There's a ton of videos I want to get out for you guys. I want to be consistent, and I just want to share. You know, I've done so much. I've learned so much through YouTube. I want to give back. I would not have been where I am today if it wasn't for the mentors that I've had in my life, for the people that I've learned from the people that have shared things with me through their life experiences, just learning from example. I want to give back. Hopefully someone sees my videos and it helps them, they understand, they learn, and it just helps them in their journey, whatever that may be, whether if it's crocheting, whether if it's knitting, whether if it's business, whatever the case may be. I just want to share, but again, I'm rambling, so see you guys later. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel below and press the bell notification to get notified whenever I upload a new video. See you guys soon.